Parental involvement in education refers to active participation of parents in their child's learning process and social activities. Now, this involvement can take many forms, including attending parent-teacher conferences or association, helping with homework, volunteering in the classroom, and engaging in school events. Research has shown that when parents are actively involved, students tend to have better academic performance, improved behavior, and higher self-esteem. Hello and welcome to Insight Today. I am Jumai Manson. Today on the program, it's all about parental involvement in your children's education. I am being joined by Dr. Mrs. Idowu Oluwa. She is the Deputy Dean, Students Affairs, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike, Abia State. Don't go anywhere. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned.
You can hear this sound, right? I can hear this sound from there.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Insight Today on Global Television, and like I mentioned, I'm going to be looking at a very important topic that has to do with children, and it's parental involvement in children's education. And like I said, Dr. Mrs. Idowu Oluwa, she is the Deputy Dean, Students Affairs, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike in Abia State. Hello, Mrs. Idowu, are you here? Hello? All right, I'm sure we have a little bit of technical issues. I'm sure she will be joining us all the way from Abia State to talk more and throw insight on this particular issue. Now, talking about parents participating when it comes to PTA, Parents Teacher Association, I'm going to be delving into that because most parents, you see that they are so busy when it comes to attending such in order to create that balance when it comes to the children in that being a participant in their educational journey. Some feel it's all about just sending their children to school and that is it. But in the long run, it takes a lot, balancing it by allowing you be a part of it, by going to school once in a while. It doesn't matter even if the child is a day student and not a boarding student. Parents should take it upon themselves to be part and parcel when it comes to that participation in education of the child, or will I say the children or ward. You as a guardian, you have that role that you must play. Now, looking at this critically, a lot of people might say, oh, Jumai, I have a lot of other things that I am involved with. But you should understand that you are part of and parcel of that child's educational journey. Helps for better academic performance. Now, it's also improved behavior and higher self-esteem for that child to have. Many people might wonder and say, how does that correlate? How does it in sync together? But at the same time, we should understand that being there, having that full participation when you being involved when it comes to homework, when it comes to other activities, when it has to do with schoolwork, being involved. Many parents find it hard to ask their ward, or like say their child, what did you do in school today? I know because of the hustle and bustle that we have in Nigeria, people tend to say, there is no time, we're too busy. But it's better if you ask yourself this question, what are you really working for? Yeah, it's for the betterment of the children. So it's very important that you are actively part and parcel when it comes to participating in that educational value in which you bring on the table. All right, now my guest has joined, and Dr. Mrs. Idowu Oluwa. Good afternoon.
Why are you joining there? Leave that one.
Good afternoon, Dr. Idowu. It's great to have you on the program Insight Today.
They've not given me value.
All right. It's great to have you on the program. Can you hear me? All right. Now, we're going to quickly go on a very quick break, and then we'll be back shortly.
giving me all my communication.
All right, you're welcome back from that very short break. And like I said, I am being joined by Dr. Mrs. Idowu Oluwa. She is the Deputy Dean, Students Affairs, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike in Abia State. Hello, Dr. Mrs. Idowu. Good afternoon. All right, Dr. Mrs. Idowu, can you hear me?
With you.
Oh,
I think
right.
there's a little
Now,
something wrong with our volume over here.
No. It's perfect. I can hear you loud and clear. Now, talking about participation when it comes to parents in the children's education. Now, how can parents effectively communicate with teachers to stay informed about their child's progress?
What do I do? Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Mrs. Idowu, can you hear me?
Another person we can connect.
All right, let's quickly go on a very quick break. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned.
This woman gets the problem. Someone should pick my phone. I can't hear you. Someone should pick my phone. So I switched off. What kind of embarrassment is this? Hello?
Get
Hello,
ready
ma'am.
for it. Inside Today
Hel-
brings you issues relating to
You
family,
said?
peer pressure, drugs, substance
Okay.
abuse, societal
My ear-
and topical issues making
I
rounds.
hear you.
Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and they repeat
Okay.
every
Remove the
Friday.
earpiece.
Time 2 p.m.
I've
to 3
removed.
p.m. Don't miss out.
And then they should have tested me. I'm feeling embarrassed. He didn't, but I told you, check your chats. I saw when he was setting you up, he didn't bother to set me up. I've removed. The last talk I had on your phone was the last. I came before time. I saw everything people were doing in the studio. When he adjusted your chair, when you sat down, when you did some test running, he didn't attend to me. You should just test and be sure you're hearing me. I cannot hear you. I can see you. I cannot hear you. Yes.
Get ready for it. Inside
just smiling to
Today
cover up. I
brings
can't
you
hear.
issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and they repeat every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
Can we talk without earpiece? Put
Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and they repeat every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
All right, you're welcome back from a very short break. Apologies for that break in transmission. It was just due to circumstances beyond our control, and we're back and we're better. And like I mentioned, I am being joined by Dr. Mrs. Idowu Elua. She is the Deputy Dean, Students Affairs, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umi DK, Abia State. Hello, good afternoon, Dr. Mrs. Idowu. Are you here now?
You are in the meeting.
Hello? All right, I'm sure it's going to be resolved when it comes to the technicalities behind Dr. Mrs. Idowu joining us this beautiful afternoon. Now, if you're wondering how can parents effectively communicate with teachers to stay informed about their child's progress, like I mentioned at the beginning of the program, I said a lot of parents find it hard to interact with teachers. They find it really, really hard to set that pace of being friendly when it comes to teaching, teaching standards, asking questions when it comes to the performance of their ward or children in school. Now, it's not an easy thing to just drop off your child and zoom off or in any way that you brought the child to school, but you should, as a parent or as a guardian, take out that time to go into the classroom. Like the first day of resumption, it is important that you establish that ground of your child is in this particular class, being friendly and knowing the teacher, and from time to time going in to find out the performance of that child. So in order for you to keep up, it's not just the teacher's responsibility to actually ensure that the child is well abreast with some when it comes to subjects in the class. It is your responsibility as a parent for you to, like I said, get acquainted with the teacher, know the teacher, and ask questions when it comes to the child's performance or progress in that class. Now, you would say to yourself, what specific activities can parents engage in at home to support their children's learning? It's very simple. Create a timetable. Many children at home do not have a reading pattern. They prefer being on their phones, on their gadgets when it comes to their computers, and that is not enough. Parents have a very big, wide role to play when it comes to that home support, that support in their child's learning pattern. A timetable. If I ask questions like, when was the last time you had that timetable to help engage at home to support your child's learning pattern? You say to me, Jima, I know it's only when the child is given assignments, that is when I participate. No, a child must have a reading timetable. It doesn't have to be all stress or all straight. It could be 1 hour, and that's the time where, as a parent, you hold on to their gadgets when it comes to phones, when it comes to laptops, and engage them, giving them that support to always read. A lot of children find it hard. They prefer to do the examination crash method, where it's only when there's exams that's when they read. Reading pattern, having that timetable of either maths, English, or whatever subjects in which they're finding it difficult to work on. Remember, they say practice makes perfect. Now, parental involvement impacts a child's academic performance and, yes, the social development. Now, it's very important that parents are involved when it comes to homework, when it comes to the schoolwork, when it comes to child activities. There's some activities that are given in school, like the arts and crafts, for instance. A lot of parents will say, oh, please, I'm not an artist, but just make that effort, making it and telling that child that we can actually do it together. Hey, they say, Google is your friend. You can always Google to find out how to draw that particular picture, make that paper mache, that paper mat. Being involved actually helps the academic performance and social development of the child. Now, challenges parents face when trying to be involved in their children's education and ways in which they can overcome them. Now, some parents are not literate, so it's very important that you get the service of an extra force, like a lesson teacher that can help you in that aspect. It's very important that if you have a child that is finding it really hard to understand a particular subject, a lesson teacher can go a long way. Interaction with children, that is why I like the fact that some parents actually have this get together where they actually know their children's friends. Now coming together, solving things together like maths, making it fun. Their maths, their assignments, coming together, and you're there to help them to improve their study activity. Now it's important for parents to attend school events and meetings. I mentioned at the beginning of the program that lots of parents are too busy when it comes to work, when it comes to their business, when it comes to functions. They are too busy to attend school events. When it comes to the graduation, so many parents are too busy to come for their graduation, for children's graduation. When it comes to PTA, Parent Teachers Association meetings, many parents are lacking in that aspect. It is so, it's not encouraging when your child sees other people's parents there for that particular meeting and you are nowhere to be found. No, you should make it a habit. It is important that parents attend school events and meetings when it comes to graduation, speech and prize, inter-house sports. All of these things encompass. Now, ways schools encourage and facilitate greater parental involvement is all of these programs, like I mentioned, inter-house sports, pageants when it comes to the houses, when it comes to all of these, is when it comes to games, when it comes to coming together, end of the year party, and all of that. So it's encouraged that these are the things that can facilitate greater parental involvement in the child's academics. Now, parents work with teachers to set realistic educational goals for their children, and that is why the Parents-Teacher Associations, they come together to set a standard and goals on how to make learning easier and better. Now, it's not just the strength of the school. No, it has nothing to do with that. As parents, also working hand in hand with the teachers goes a long way. Like I mentioned, I said, most of the time your children have, they stay longer in school. Yes, from 7 till 2. If they have extra lessons, it could be to like 3 or 4. So it's better you understand that you have to come together to work hand in hand with the teachers. Now, parental involvement plays a very big role in shaping the child's attitude towards learning. Now, when you have that encouragement, where you tell your child, let's do the assignment together, come, let us study together. It doesn't matter how long or short the assignment is, but just being part and parcel. If I could ask, how many parents out there actually go through their children's notebooks? Just few. They're either too tired or too lazy about it. It's very important that you set a standard, a time factor. It could be every Friday. Bring out your notebooks. I want to see, why are there spaces here? What date is this? And you have the timetable to go through the child's books. Very important to know that if you're having maths on Monday, you're to have maths on Tuesday, or if you're having social studies on Thursday, you're supposed to have it today on Thursday. Where is the date? Checking for dates, and all of these things are very, very important. Now, parents, how can you balance your work commitment with needs to involved in your child's education? Like I said, it's all in the balance. For a proper performance, for a high goal when it comes to reading, for a high goal when it comes to learning, parents need to balance it all. It's very important. As a parent, you ask yourself, what are you actually working for? Despite, I know the economy is hard, but you must learn to strike and create a balance. You must make time to go through your child's notes. It's very important. Being involved helps the child to evolve and become greater when he knows that he has the backing of the parents. It doesn't matter how important their work commitments are, they still make out time to be part and parcel of what they are doing in school. It's very important. Now, resources, I know, could be hard, but available resources for parents to better understand the curriculum and support their children. Yes, we know that it's very important that you should ask questions. Very important that parents should ask questions when it comes to things that you do not understand, the things that you do not understand that the school are bringing on. You should ask questions in a nice and calm manner. Now, technology. Technology has been used to enhance parental involvement in education. I mentioned at the beginning that Google is your friend. There are some assignments that you'll be surprised that you do not know or understand. So that is why the Google technology has come into play to make life easy. So at the same time, balancing it and teaching the children how to make good use of technology, telling them it could enhance their educational skill. You as a parent can be involved in it so the child can understand that it is to make the easy pattern of reading, and of course when it comes to assignments. Now, strategies parents can use to motivate their children to take an active interest in their learning. Now, it's very important that you take this very seriously. Parents have to have different strategies. It's not all about sitting down. You can make reading fun. Like for the toddlers, you can try and read a book, sing a song for easy learning. And have you noticed that it is better you illustrate than to read out? Illustration sticks much more when you give an example with maybe colors or food or something. It sticks more. Examples goes a long way. Now let's quickly go on a very quick break. The program continues shortly. It's Inside Today. Do not go anywhere. All right, you're welcome back to Inside Today. And yes, my guest finally has joined in. And Dr. Mrs. Idowu Eluwa, how are you doing? Have you joined in now?
What's the problem?
Hello, are you here? All right. Can you hear me? Dr. Mrs. Idowu, can you hear me?
Host has joined. We let them know.
All right, no problem at all. And like I've mentioned, I've said a lot when it comes to parents participating in their child's education, which that involvement goes a long way. I have mentioned and I've said all of the things that we need to know, all of the things that we need to learn about when it comes to, parents participating. Now, like I mentioned, effectively communicating with the teachers is very important. I mentioned specific activities. I mentioned parental involvement impacts the child's academic performance. I mentioned the challenges parents could face, and I mentioned Google is your friend. And important how parents should attend events when it comes to PTA meetings, when it comes to extra activities in school. And I mentioned, the school encourages and facilitates greater parental involvement. Now, parents, like I said, work to set a realistic educational goal for their children. I mentioned parental involvement helps in shaping the child. Parents can balance their work commitments. I mentioned resources. I mentioned technology, which is your friend, and strategies parents can involve in order to make learning interesting and easy for learning. And with that, I have to wrap it up. And Dr. Mrs. Idowu Eluwa, thank you for trying to be a part of the program. I know you would have added more depth to this particular topic, and parents actively participate in the child's education. And of course, Ms. Idowu Eluwa is the Deputy Dean, Student Affairs, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike, Abia State. Now, let's not forget that effective parental involvement fosters a supportive learning environment at home, and it complements what children learn in school. Now, it also helps parents stay informed about their child's educational progress and challenges. Now, additionally, strong communication between teachers and parents is crucial, as it allows both parties to work together to address any issues and celebrate successes. Now, let's remember that overall, parental involvement plays a vital role in enhancing a child's educational experience and outcome. Now, please participate in your child's educational well-being. It goes a long way. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you all so much for being a part of the program Inside Today. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.